conversation. I have my pen ready. I am jotting everything down. Festive season. Yeah, baby. My guest for today is Jemima Ocheriwate-Bri. She is a lead financial consultant. Good morning, Jemima.
Good morning, Roslyn.
How are you?
I'm good and happy.
I can tell you're happy, yeah? Why are you happy? Tell me. Is there a secret to it?
Oh, Christmas is almost at the corner, so...
my goodness. You're like me, yeah?
You're not alone.
Do you party a lot during festive season?
I do, and it cuts across whether it's day, afternoon, or evening.
Baby girl, give me 5 there. Yo. So we are partying this festive season, but of course we have to do it on a budget. And let's first talk about what a budget is before we even delve into any conversation.
Thanks, Roslyn. So to start with, we all know the year had been quite long, the hustle, the tussle, even despite the haircuts. I believe that in the midst of all this, there's a need for us to celebrate. And like our conventional Christmas song, Joy to the World, that gives us that sense that during Christmas, we need to be happy. And for budget, it's like our everyday life. Remember when we were kids, our mothers used to go to the market. Before they go, you see them scribble the things that they need to buy. So budgeting had always been part of us. It's just a plan in terms of monetary terms, but mostly what we do is we list the expenses. But a complete budget should include the income as well, then the expenses as well. So simply put, budget is a summary of your income and your expenses over a period.
Right. So let's talk about also the importance of having a budget the festive season.
Thanks very much. You know, for budgeting, it saves you the stress. You know, there are lots of things happening, lots of programs that you would like to attend. But how do you prioritize this? Once you start budgeting, you list all the things that you want to enjoy, all the things that you need to do. And most importantly, when you look at the income side, it could be you have a long list of things that you want to enjoy, but what are the sources of the income? So it saves you the stress, it helps you to prioritize. And sometimes we say that when you budget, it actually makes you know that you have more than you actually thought you have. Because you see, some of your sources of income, they are scattered. You might not have taken notice of it.
Yeah.
You do a side gig aside your normal salary. And you see that when it gets to Christmas, we push a lot into getting more sales. The budget helps you to know that I need to raise this money for me to enjoy it. So it really helps. It
really, really helps. Some of us, we still struggle with budget a little bit. It's not like too much struggle. But for the layman out there, I mean, how easy is it for that person to prepare a budget? What do I need to put on that budget?
Okay. So to start with, normally the misconception is the budget is straight, it is rigid. No, we review budgets. So whatever you had planned, even a day, your budget can change. But what we say is the discipline should come in. So starting your budget, people say you need an app, you need, no. What I'll say is just get your paper, your pen or your pencil and scribble something down. So first you start by listing your sources of income. If you're a salary worker, you state it there. You know, during Christmas, we have gifts. Please, let's budget for gifts.
Oh, we budget for gifts?
Yes, it's two-way. You receive gifts and you give out gifts.
But you see, with regards to the economy right now, do you need to give gifts?
It depends.
Okay.
But what I say is the joy of it. You can even give a bar of chocolates, toffee.
Right.
Yes, it's also a form of gift. So you list all your income, which could come from your salary, your side gig, possible gifts or momo, like how we now like it. Then you come to the expenses. One thing we must prioritize is, you know, during Christmas, we do a lot of food and drinks. So what we say is allocate a percentage.
Okay.
Yes. So you can't say our salaries vary. So let's say you have your salary, allocate like 30%. And one thing you must notice, when you budget, it helps you to know how to buy in bulk. So you know there'll be a lot of fries, there'll be a lot of drinks. So why don't you get a bag of fries? Why don't you get a pack of drinks, even at home? Then aside food, you know, fuel or your transportation, there'll be a lot of movement here and there.
Shouldn't fuel even be number one? Because it's like you can't do anything without transport.
But you need the energy before you move. So let food be first.
Okay.
Food and drinks be first. Then your fuel will come.
All right.
Then we can also have, what we should bear in mind is after Christmas, there's January. We always say January is 60 days. We understand. So you put aside some emergency fund to keep you till January. Even though it will be 60 days, you need to survive. And one thing you must include is your entertainment budget. most of the time.
That's it. That's it. Like, what's the percentage of the entertainment budget?
It should be between 10 to 15%. And what I can say is, even if the amount allocated is small, just look at what will work within your budget. You might plan to go to the beach or somewhere which is not working. Have you thought of visiting a friend? Even the different location as excitement. Even if you are going to the beach, are you going to carry your food and your drinks to save some cost? Entertainment is very key. But what we should also put aside is, for instance, if you're a parent, you need to get your gifts for your kids as well. And even your friends, just work within what you have. And let's make this season a very memorable one.
Now, you see, again, I asked the question with regards to the economy being tough. All these things that you have mentioned, which one can you cut down on with regards to being in the budget?
Okay, so what we say is, for food and drinks, you cannot do without. But one thing you can work on is waste. Yes, eliminate the waste within your budget. For fuel, you can even look at a healthy lifestyle for short distances. What can you do? You walk, or once in a while you pack and pick trotro. At least the excitement. Nowadays, these kids, they get so excited when you put them in trotro because it's their first time. So let's see how we can manage the fuel and the transportation bit. Then when it comes to the gifts, don't feel pressured to have the
That's
gift.
what I was waiting for, because you see, as I'm sitting here, I know, previous years we used to do hampers and everything. Currently, the economy is tough. For those who are expecting, maybe they should cut down on their expectancy, right?
Of course, you can look at gift in kind instead of cash.
Kind?
Yes.
What kind?
Oh, it could be a fabric. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it could be a bar of chocolates. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's not cash.
Oh, not cash.
Yes.
But people hardly give cash gifts, do they?
You remember when we used to be young, we used to go around and people give out cash to their kids. Now things are changing. But hopefully this week, let's expect more money in the system.
Let's talk about new dresses. It's a very important festive season.
It depends. So what I say is look at your lifestyle and see how it suits your budget. You'll be surprised that old dress that had been there for 5 years, when you wear it this year, it will look new. So normally, conventionally, you see that it's kids that you have to buy their Christmas dress, Christmas shoes. Even with them, let's try to teach them that whatever dress you had last year, most of the time we buy oversized. So oversized shoe, oversized dress. So let's try and put it up. But at least 1 or 2 affordable dress will be enough for the day. Don't forget the white dress for 31st.
And that's the 31st one, right?
Yes.
And this festive season is like 31st is on Saturday, then there's 1st on Sunday. So I don't know if churches are going to have 31st night and 1st Sunday service, or it's going to be put together, because 31st is always all night.
I think for years that had been that way. We have all the service. Right
Together.
after 31st, you do the first.
Let's talk about offering. Do you budget your offering as well?
Yes.
How do you budget the offering?
So what I say is, as part of your budget, you list the essential things. So aside offering, you see that we tithe as well. So you list them. So for instance, now we have different ways of sending our offertory. So even though you are not physically there, you could send it via Momo or through your bank transfer. So what you do is, most of the time we sit at church and we end up giving almost everything, then we leave. But with your budget, you know that I'm going for 31st. This is the money I've located for the Thanksgiving.
But sometimes you get to church and you are moved by the Spirit.
So it depends on what is in your pocket. So you carry what you have. So one thing we encourage to prevent impulse buying is, when you are going out, put the money you spend either in your wallet or your envelope.
And
so
leave
that
it in the car?
No. That's what you are going to spend. The rest,
Okay.
leave it at home.
Okay.
But
But sometimes, I'm just speaking a layman English here. Sometimes we go to church, okay, and we are carrying 100 cedis. We know that we are doing offering of maybe 50 cedis. The other 50 cedis on our way, maybe we'll be thirsty or stuff like that. But we end up being led by the Spirit to give all 100.
So what we do is, to prevent impulse buying, you could give that money to your friend, your family member to hold, or you put that one electronically. Yes, because when all is said and done, life still goes on.
So even if a prophecy comes out, whatever is in your bag, or you've given it to your friend, bring it.
So what you can do is, you can budget, and if you can even anticipate that I will do the donation next month.
Okay.
Yes. So the budget is for a period. So you are budgeting, let's say, for Q1. So ideally, by now, we should start budgeting for Q1 or Q1 and 2. So you know that even though I cannot give it in December, in January, when my salary or I get business, I'll be able to pay. And it's allowed. When we go for harvest, we do pledges which we pay in installments. So let's try. One thing about budget, it helps you to do installments if the outright cannot work.
How do we incorporate the little monies that comes in as gifts or side gigs into our budget?
Okay, so when you sit down to plan, you realize that sometimes your expenses are even 200% more than your income. So that's when the reality dawns on you. So even if you do a side gift, for instance, this Christmas, whether you do hamper or not, you say, okay, I want to sell hampers on the street or online. Yes, so that's what helps you. And you realize that the sources of income is not enough. Do I need to include more? So that's how come you're able to include other income whilst you are budgeting.
Now, as we are budgeting at home, I don't know if you have a pen and a paper, you're writing things down. But if you're going to town, what is the average man, for the average man, what do you think is the realistic amount the person must carry on him or her?
Okay, so in budgeting, we look at your lifestyle or your income level. So even if I carry 100 cedis, it's enough for me because it suits me. But somebody carrying 100 cedis, just his fuel alone will just drain it. So it depends on what you have. And one thing I must say is, especially with the kids, around this time, there are so many things on the market that they want you to buy.
So leave them at home, eh?
No, don't leave them at home. Let us teach them the culture of budgeting. So, for instance, for my kids, what I do is, we are going to the mall. Your money is 50 cedis. So what are you buying? Then they start listing. They will list everything in the world. I even want a car. I want a motor. We get there. The good thing is the prices are listed. So by the time they pick 1, 2, oh, your money is finished. Oh, nobody tends to stress you. But in the past, we go and it's like an open budget. Everybody picks things into their trolley.
Right.
So it helps them. Now they know that this is the amount I have on me. This is what I have to spend, so that you don't go beyond your budget.
So this is what we have to do with every child.
Yes. And even this can be for the younger ones, but those who are grown up, let's say you give them, this is your money, go and buy things enough for us to cook, let's say rice and chicken. So you are also teaching them how to do their budget. For the little one, you guide them, but for the grown-ups, you give them the plan. You'll be surprised that somebody will go to prepare chicken and rice and even forget to buy oil. So that brings them the culture of budgeting. Then gradually they'll try to budget their pocket money that you give them every day.
Is it necessary to have Christmas decorations? Because that also comes at a cost.
Of course, all the joy. You see the lighting in Accra is so nice. Well, one thing I can say is it doesn't necessarily have to be new. So me, my Christmas tree, I've been using it for 2 years. So when the year ends, you pack it, put it into the box, all the decor, all the Christmas lights. After it, you light there for a year, it comes back and it's new. So let the decor move on. If you don't have one, invest now, then for subsequent years.
Is it the right time to invest?
Yes.
Is it?
This is the right time to invest.
Why do you say this?
You know, things are very uncertain.
Okay.
Emergencies are happening. You don't know when you get your sources of income. You see that stock prices are going down, investment prices are going down. Buy it low so that when the prices appreciate, you make your gain.
Right. So, but what about the haircuts?
You see, it's a cycle.
Okay.
When you look at that cycle, it goes up, it comes down, but it rises up again.
So it's going to rise up again?
Yes, it's going to rise up. But what we should bear in mind is, what is your aim or your reason for investing? If it is long term, let it be there. If you bring all your money and spend it this Christmas, are you doing yourself good or harm? Come January, even if there's a haircut, you still have something there to fall on. This is the right time for us to invest.
Well, I didn't know this, so I was actually going to close on my investment. But you saying this makes a lot of sense because increase it rather.
Increase it rather. Increase it.
I think I'm going to increase it. You at home can also send in your messages. We are talking about us enjoying the festive season on a budget. So not just that, on a very good budget, so you can have a very good January. Because as we are enjoying our festive season, let's not forget that January is just around the corner, and people claim January is 60 days. It never ends. And so don't enjoy festive season and find yourself wanting this January. You know, school fees will be coming up, you know. Talking about that, I mean, how do you save towards school fees as well?
Okay, so when you are budgeting, you realize that your kids' school, let's say for instance, is 1,000 cedis. Your income is 1,500. So you tend to spread it. So even if you're able to communicate with the school that give me an installment plan for 3 months, they know, and you are committed to it, it helps than to use all your monthly salary for it. So even though now kids are on vacation, whatever income you get now, try to pay their fees in advance, then also make deposit for their books. You know, the first you get the open, you need to bring books. So just plan, even if December you are done with last term's fees, try and pay something for next term. Installment helps, and it helps if you have a budget.
You know, sometimes we do the budgets. I have done my budgets and everything, but I get to town and I stay out of the budget. Is there any tip that I can use to stay within my budget?
Yes, so it's normal. But what we can say is you need to be disciplined. And I don't know, those who did science, when they are doing experiment, they put control measure by it. Yes. So what you can do is, if the money is with you and you spend it, why don't you give it to someone or put it in a bank? So for me, where my savings is, the bank is not even close to me. I have to drive a long way. I don't have an ATM for that account. So it is about the discipline, and let's face reality. We are going into a new year with new expectations. We don't know what's going to happen. When Christmas is done, we have on the 1st to continue 2023. Right.
I have some messages coming in. Actually, okay, this is actually coming in with regards to the NDC just ended election. It says, it's from Tete from Sunyani. NDC is still doing primitive politics. Electing aggressive and noisy executive doesn't guarantee you victory 2024. Ghanaians have moved from that era. We want calm, cool and collected people to lead them. These NDC national executives will not do anything different because they are known propagandists and liars. My regards to Honorable Justina Usu. Okay, Bono Regional Minister Tete. All right, we've heard you, Tete. You can also send in your messages. The number is on the screen. Send in your messages. We'll read them. It's about we're still talking about the NDC just elected in elections, and we are talking about having a festive season. I mean, a Merry Christmas on a budget. Today, I've learned a lot. I think one of the tips that I'm picking out of is to put some of your offering in the car.
What if your car gets broken into?
I'm always being led in church, you know, when the man of God says something, I'm being led to give more. So I end up emptying my purse without even realizing that I just emptied my purse. So I'm leaving some of the money in there as well. Now, you've also told us that if you don't need new dresses, don't go for the new dresses. But the food is very important. Yeah. Do you have to eat chicken?
It depends. You know, for Ghanaians, Christmas is with chicken. Looking at the prices, if you go to the market, you could equally get fish that you can cook your jollof with. You could, you know, Ghanaians even like a lot of goats. Yes, and it's quite expensive. Very. So this time we have to do chicken light soup with fufu. As part of our budget. So you see, when you started budgeting, you realize that the goat prices are expensive. So you replace it with chicken or fish.
So when you're budgeting, you look at the expensive things and then you do a replacement with it?
Yeah, it depends. So you see, your income is limited, but you have a lot of needs. So even with the goats, if last year you bought a full goat, then you went to the slaughterhouse, have you thought of buying a piece? So you go to the market, my money is 150. You get equally goats to work with.
So instead of chewing like 2 bits, you chew 1?
Yes. So you haven't eliminated it.
But you're enjoying it.
You've done a haircut.
I like that. Now, you at home as well want you to join the conversation. What is your budget this festive season? I don't know my budget for this festive season. I think I'm yet to make a budget for the festive season. But what is your budget? But what percentage of your salary should you always put in there as a budget for the festive season?
So you budget for all your income.
Yes. Everything.
Yes, when you leave some idle, that's the ones that keep getting missing and you don't even know how you spend it.
Okay.
Yes, so if your income is 2,000, budget for the whole 2,000. Then you know that these are the allocations, this and this is what I use it for.
So in that same budget, you have savings, right?
Yes, you have savings. Ideally, it should be between 10 to 15%.
For the savings?
Yes.
10 to 15%. Okay.
Yeah. Then just to add, you know, prices had been fluctuating for a while. So even planning for Christmas, it's never too late to start budgeting. But if you had budgeted, you would have gotten your rice already, your oil, then you can now push much into entertainment and outings this month. So going forward, let's have that in mind. We shouldn't wait till December. Start stocking the things that you can stock down. Then when they are dark, so you see that now with budgeting, you realize you have so much money in December.
But, you know, some people actually do put down money over the year, you know, for Christmas. So every month they put out probably 500 cedis or 1,000 Ghana cedis, and in December they have like 12,000 Ghana cedis to play with. But that money, do you still have to budget for it? Because you know that thing is like, I have the money. Let's hear from you at home what your budget is this festive season. Did you put aside some money that you're going to enjoy with this festive season, or you have to live on your salary this festive season? I was asking you, I mean, I'm having some free 12,000 Ghana cedis. I'm just going out to blow it.
No, but what are you going to blow it on? So the list comes and it's a budget. This is simple. Your income is the 12,000. Then list the places you want to go to, because sometimes you might blow all at one place. Yes. So that's where you are budgeting.
Okay, so after that one place, you don't get to go anywhere again.
Yes, but is that what you want?
All right, I think there's a message coming in here. Good morning, I'm Joel Fenyi Nimfa, listening to you live inside Aguna Swedru. Wow, indeed, your education on low budget for Christmas is really helpful, and God bless you for the tips you have given us today. Oh, thank you so much for sending in your message. You can also send your message and we'll read it live on air. Someone said, I hope teachers' laptops are given to them before the close of 2022. I think it will help them with budget. Do you need a laptop before you do your budget?
You can use your paper, your pen. It has been budgeted for, so I'm sure they will get it.
So it's easy. You just use your paper and your pen. Okay, another message coming in. Good morning. The price of goods and services must be reduced to consumers since the dollar and the fuel prices are reducing drastically, and the president has appealed in the right direction. By Abdul Mumin Wunan from Tamale. All right. So you can also send in your messages. We'll read it live on air. Okay. Someone has sent another message. Thanks for the budget education. I've been doing it yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily. But the funny thing is, emergencies keep popping up, and there is nothing I can do about it than to break down my promise. KB Francis from Mankasim. So in times like that, what do you do?
You think most of our problem had been what's the definition of emergency fund?
Okay.
You know, for ladies, definitely Christmas, you do your hair. Then you wait, you don't include it in your budget and say, oh, I have to buy this wig. Then it becomes an emergency. So let's clearly define what is an emergency. Then if possible, let's increase the fund that we are putting down for emergency.
Okay.
If emergency, you know, in times like this, there's
what
a lot
percentage should the emergency be?
It's also 10 to 15%.
10 to 15, okay.
So if emergencies are coming, it tells you that perhaps you are not budgeting well.
Let me answer this call and I'll come back to you. Hello, good morning, Kabi.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Great. Talk to us.
So I'm actually budgeted 25,000 just for this Christmas. Mommy will get 5,000, 2,000 to each of my boys. The rest, I just want to party.
You are chilling. You are chilling.
Yes. So I wonder why you people are discussing cutting budget. Please, we are chilling. We're chilling this Christmas. Thank you.
Enjoy
Bye-bye.
Can you ask him what budget he has for January?
Okay, I hear. What's your budget for January? Do you have some money for January as well? Oh, unfortunately, we lost a call. Yes.
You think of January when we get there.
And that has been the mentality of a lot. Hello, good morning, Sandra. You're calling me from Obuasi.
Hello.
Yes, Sandra.
Good morning.
Morning.
Me pacho me dey me to go fentin say ma make me akachi.
Kachi my.
Me pacho sister na o ye uni ne ye program me ajipa. But me pese me nya ne na ma pacho me ne den so na be am so me hu no personally for me important way.
Okay, into ordinary number betudwa. See e ba be pon anti men tuni out or the number ni tudwa na wafa. Why?
Me tati bi ne nim kutu.
Atina ho sa make sure say okay no paper so I ready.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it, baby. You can also call and join the conversation. We are talking about planning our Christmas, you know, or spending our Christmas very, very well on a low budget. Another message coming in. Good morning. As we hope for the return of road tolls, we pray the money be used appropriately. However, transport fares should be regulated by the appropriate authorities so that drivers will stop taking advantage of the situation. Paul K. from Eja number 3. Right. So it's all about planning our budget. Yes, but you were making a point before. I think I had to go cut you for the call, right?
Yes. So what I can say is, even our normal organization, we do budgeting, very vigorous, yes. So let's use this period from now to 31st. 31st, we do a lot of New Year resolutions. So as part of the New Year resolutions, let's have our budgets ready. It's quite tedious when you are starting, but just list the months from January to December, list your salary or your income, and start with the expenses. You realize that much of the expenses are recurrent. Your food, your this. And sometimes by the time you finish your budget, you see some self-fulfillment. Hey, I have this money that I'm spending.
The emergency part, that's where the issue is. I think when they talk about emergencies, like your car breaking down, it's like your health failing you, that you have to go to the hospital, or the children are falling sick. This is the kind of emergency we are talking about. Well, I'll come back to you. Let me go back on my phone line. Hello, good morning, Richard. You're calling me from Northwest.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Just that someone just called and has budgeted for 45,000.
I tell you, in this economy.
In this economy, you budgeted for a Christmas 45,000 Ghana cedis. It's too much. Anyway, I am a professional teacher, and I just want to say Merry Christmas to all teachers.
Thank
the whole
you.
year hasn't been that easy for us, but at least we've still managed well. As for me, I'm just looking at a salary of around 2,500. Too. And I'm not going to save anything for this Christmas. I'm going to consume all the money.
Hey!
I'm going to enjoy the money.
That's nice.
But there's something that I would like to add to what your guest said about emergencies.
Please go ahead.
Some emergencies are like unexpected sickness, and probably the cost around is something that maybe you saved around. So you have around maybe 3,000, 4,000, and there's unexpected sickness which is costing you more than that. You can't go out begging. So you just have to probably say that, let me bring all money to save my life first. Without life, you can't even have time to even enjoy the Christmas. So I think that is probably what we might. As for the ladies, they will be buying them. But with my girlfriend, I am stoning her this Christmas. In January, I go for her.
You might not be there when you go.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. Only if your girlfriend will be waiting for you till January.
Yeah, January, by January 2nd. By January 2nd. I will just go begging.
That's all. All right. Thank you so much for calling. We are grateful. You can also send in your messages or do call us, and we will speak about how to have a very fantastic festive season. So I have another call, I think. Hello, good morning. Okay, I'll come back to the phone line, but the emergency
I wanted to make a comment on that.
Yeah.
So most of the emergencies, we don't have control. So for instance, health. So what we say is, why don't you transfer the risks to a third party? So we know health issues, they keep popping up and eating your money. For next year, can you subscribe to an insurance policy? Yes. You can look at that. For your, let's take even your car insurance. Can you look at prepaying it in bits? So those are some of the things. You transfer some of the emergencies, the ones that are transferable. Ghanaians, we like funeral and this. And when it comes, have you had the funeral policy to cover that for you?
In Sawano.
No, but before in Sawano, you have to take care of the funeral first.
Let me go on the phone. Hello, good morning. Oh, fortunately, did I keep too long answering your call? I'm so sorry. Please do call back, and we'll definitely talk. More messages coming in. But before I go on the tablet to read any more messages, yes. So with this emergency that you just spoke about, now transferring to third party, people are also of the opinion that some of the third parties are not trustworthy with regards to it being an emergency, and they paying you at that time when you need it.
Okay, so when you are doing any investment or you are going in for any policy, you should look at the source. Are they a trusted partner? We have a lot of policies around, but have they been recommended? What have you read about them? And now things are getting better. Premium payments is coming in faster. So first, do your research from the right sources.
Okay.
Yes, then you know that if I put my money here, I could get this.
What about putting a miscellaneous in your your budget?
You see, when we add miscellaneous, it becomes a black box and everything, you dump it there. So normally in budget, we don't even allow
miscellaneous?
Yes, maximum 1 to 2%.
With the
Somebody can have a budget, 50% is miscellaneous, and everything is miscellaneous. No. Let's limit the miscellaneous for something small and rather get the appropriate lines for the budget.
All right, let me go to Akimoda. Don't Star.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Great. Talk to
Merry
us.
Christmas to you in advance.
Many happy returns.
I'm Stars.
Oh, why?
Calling from Akimoda.
Okay, yes,
I'm
talk to
Star
us.
called Stars.
Star,
Calling from
Star.
Akimoda.
Okay, all right. Talk to us, Star.
Thanks for your education.
You're welcome.
But I just put something there for emergency, and then the rest I'll blow with my wife and my 3 daughters.
How are you blowing it?
Oh, I'll take them out. I'll buy some eatables, some clothes for my wife and my 3 daughters. The rest, and then chop. So
That's right. I'm feeling the spirit.
Next year, by God's grace.
I'm feeling the spirit.
I'm a teacher anyway.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for calling. And
Thank
hello
you.
to your
Thank you
students
very
as
much.
well. Thank you. Right, so it looks like this festive season, people are going to blow.
Yeah, you realize what he was doing? He was budgeting.
Okay.
Yes, he said he was going to spend on his wife's clothing, the children. So what suits you might be different from what suits the other person.
Another message coming in. One of the emergencies could be prices of goods. You know very well we don't have price control in this country. So it becomes very difficult to even budget for foodstuffs. And it's very disheartening.
Yes. So to add to that, what we normally used to do is when things come, you buy things this month, you list it and anticipate. But in budget, you put an element for inflation. So let's say 10 to 15%, depending on the inflation.
Let me go on the line. Hello, good morning, Gifty.
Hello, good morning.
Talk to us. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay.
Talk to us, Gifty.
Okay, your program is really helping this festive season, and we are grateful for such shows.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Amen.
Yeah. And you were talking about sometimes with insurance and those policies. I personally think sometimes when you do a standing order at the bank, sometimes it is very difficult when you want to save. So you can place a standing order on your salary so that at the end of the month, there could be some deductions for you. That account, I don't think you can get you shouldn't go for an ATM card or you shouldn't go for a checkbook. Then it would be your savings. Sometimes it is very difficult saving your money being a salary worker. So I think that could also help this festive season.
Right.
And beyond. So from January, let's think about placing a standing order on our salaries, and that could be our savings. Even if you can't save, that could be your savings for the year. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gifty. That's a very good advice. Hello, good morning. My next caller. So of transferring some expenses to a third party to reduce cost or income. All right, so this is also coming in from Twitter. Merry Christmas to all of you in advance. Thank you for doing the good works. I'm very grateful, Joy Prime. Watching you live from Eja number 3, Paul K, alias PKO. All right, thank you so much for watching PKO. And to every one of you who watched and did call us, thank you. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to answer any more calls, but I'll quickly ask what you have to say to round up the conversation before we go.
Okay, so what I can say is 1,000 miles journey begins with one step. So let's start budgeting for this Christmas. We get the habit, then going into next year, we can budget. Things are not we are not in normal times, so let us not do normal things.
That's not normal things. Thank you so much for being here, Jemima. We are grateful. And if you haven't budgeted yet, it's time for you to pick up a pen and a paper and budget. You don't need a computer before you budget. Just get a pen and paper, budget. And she said there are percentages to it. Make sure you put some savings aside as well and put out something for emergency. Don't forget to do that. Very, very important. But in all, let's have a Merry, Merry Christmas. My guest for today has been Jemima Ocherwatebri. She is a lead financial consultant. and she wants to put her number out there. There's the lady who was waiting for your number. So your number, please.
So I have an initiative, the Finance Gem initiative, on all the social media handles. I share daily tips on how to manage your finances as well. I have a YouTube channel, the Finance Gem. Then you can also contact me via WhatsApp 0544 760 779. Finance Gem.
Finance Gem. Your number again. Put it again.
0544 760 779. The Finance Gem.
All right, Jemima, thank you so much. On that note, you have been watching Prime Insight. But still, the NDC did go to the polls over the weekend, and they did elect their executives to lead them into 2024. They are hoping for a victory with these leaders. I don't know if these leaders can lead them or not, but can, help them to victory. I'm not saying can lead them, but can help them to victory or not. Now, when we spoke to Ben Efson earlier, he did mention that until 6 months, we can't tell that these are the leaders that can help them in victory. Yes, they are leading them, but as to whether they will help them get victory or not, we have to wait for 6 months before we can say it with a full chest. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we do have more for you. Do stay.